a little drama, and then we're going to move on from that and talk about whatever needs to be talked about this morning. So if you're watching this video after it's loaded up, then I apologize. So it's just got the kid fed, got the dogs and cats fed this morning, and now it's time to relax a little bit and answer some questions and possibly talk. You know, I had Amazon reach out to me, and Amazon reached out to me, and they told me, we want to send you a product, we want you to review it. Doesn't have to, it's not a sponsored video. We're sending you the product, and we literally want you to just abuse it, use it, tell us what you think about it. Maybe we can do a multiple type thing, where we send you multiple products. And I was like, well, wait a second, do I have to say in the beginning of the videos that this is a sponsored video? And they said, no, because we're not really sponsoring the video, we're just giving you the tool to abuse. Well, it's kind of sponsoring the video, but it's not at the same time. And they said, we're not interested in that. We see that you're a technician and you've done plenty of reviews on our stuff before. We want to start sending you new stuff in the electronic world to try out, and let's just see if it lasts. And I posted a link last night after I got done doing the review. Good morning everybody. And they actually reached back out to me and said, look, for your viewers that go to your page and stuff like that, we're going to send you the direct link to the Amazon website for the circuit probe from Ansel. And we're actually going to give you a code that I forgot to put in the posting last night, and it's going to give them additional % off. So it's like up to 35% total. So instead of buying the circuit probe for like over $100, they got it knocked down to like $50.69 or something like that for me doing the review. They were like, we're gonna take care of you, we're gonna cover you and your subscribers. So I said, oh, that's awesome. At least I got to use the product first. I got to see what was going on with it, and it worked phenomenal. No big deal. This is the issue that I have, and it's gonna get a little hot here for a second. When you guys, if you got kids around, send them out of the room right now, because I'm gonna be straight with you right now. I want you to know that I'm not playing games with you right now. Whoever thinks this way. What's up, Joseph? It's gonna get a little hot here in a second. If you got kids in the room, send them out or walk to another room or something like that. If I tell you a chicken dip snuff or a rooster dip snuff, you better lift his wing and find the dip can under his wing. If I tell you I'm not making money off a product, I'm not making money off a product. I don't fucking play games with you guys. And I don't lie to you guys. There's nothing out there that's going to make me do that. So if I tell you something is not going to happen, or if I tell you I'm not making money off of this, I'm not these other asshole YouTubers out here that are lying to you and blowing smoke up your ass. I can tell you that first and foremost. If I say in a community post, I'm not making money off this, I legitimately mean I am not fucking making money off of this. I mean that I'm sharing with you guys something that you can benefit from, but I'm not making money off of it. It's whoever's selling it that is making money off of it. But when they give us something like 35% off because I did a review on a product, that's a blessing to you guys. Instead of going out and paying $75 for it or $100 and some dollars for the product, you're paying $50 for it because they had a professional do the review on the product. That means that they give our crowd better discounts and deals than somebody else because they trust our channel to do that, and this is our channel. So you got to get your shit straight when you come at me. You have to understand that I'm not out here to take anybody's shit on this page. I don't care if you love me and I love you and we're best friends and we've known each other forever. I'm not on this channel to take anybody's shit on this page. I don't give a shit who you are across the board. I don't care if you're my boss. I don't care if you're Ford. I don't care if you're my general manager. I don't care if you're my girlfriend on here. I'm not here to eat your shit. So we need to make that first and foremost clear. A lot of people have gotten comfortable with me on this channel over the last couple years and over the last year, and they think, oh, I've been a subscriber here forever. I can just say whatever the hell I want. No, the fuck you can't, Chief. It does not work that way. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're one of my moderators. We have a level of respect with each other, and we stay within inside those lanes. That's how men operate. We don't think we get comfortable so we can just say whatever the fuck we want. So let me share something with you. Let me share you what was said from people that have been on my channel for over a year last night. These are the people that are getting too damn comfortable that I'm going to put a stop to real quick. Don't get so comfortable with me to where you feel like you want to say whatever the fuck you want. You're out of your mother-loving mind. Because it don't happen here. I don't need people on this channel. I'm not begging people to be on this channel. I'm not answering questions about any car stuff right now. Let's save that to the end. I'm not, that's not what this is about right now, please. So I put out a post last night. I said, right here. So Amazon has told me that they really appreciate the review I did on the circuit probe from Ansel, and they're going to give everybody else that follows me 35% off, and I do not make any proceeds off of these guys. They just said they really appreciate the in-depth review. Here's a link. There's the link to go to it, and then I just added the code this morning because I didn't know in really fine print there was a code right there. So I put the code this morning right on the bottom so they can get additional percent off, and they said instead of it being 100 and then marked down to 77, now they have it marked down for us and anybody that clicks on here down to 50, which is freaking cheap for what all that probe can do, right? And I clearly said I don't make money off that. If I tell you the damn sky is pink, you better go outside and expect the sky to be pink. That's how the fuck it works, man. I'm a realist. I'm not a pessimist. I'm not an optimist. I'm more of a realist than I am anything in life. I see things as they are and how they're turning out, and I say things as they are and how it's turning out. So this are the comments I get. Pretty positive overall. Thanks for the discount. Comes to $120 Canadian, included shipping and duty to Canada. That's a smoking deal. I guess Canada has some really screwed up, jacked up prices, and that's good to them. That would be not so great to me. Cool, since there's an AC display screen, you can check ignition peak voltage. I get it. Already had one for years, but nice. Right here. Right here. This is the comment that I'm after right here. And then we're going to get inside the comments and see people that have been loyal to the channel for a while and how they think about the Ford Boss. Yes, you do make money, this guy says. You need to be honest with your followers. How the fuck am I making money off an Amazon link that's not even tailored to my storefront? It's not even tailored to my name. You don't see my name anywhere on the account at all. How? Explain this to me. Then here, Hughes Enterprises. Dude's been here forever. Been an awesome supporter. I mean, really awesome supporter. But lately something's been changing with the way people feel comfortable with me. They think they could just say whatever the hell they want and it's okay. But it don't work that way. You have freedom of speech, but I have the freedom to turn your bullshit off whenever I want. Yep, affiliates posting links and saying they don't get a cut after posting links where they do. Never seen that before. That's great, Hughes Enterprises. I appreciate the support still. Like you're still really supporting me and trusting me. But I'm gonna put your own foot in your mouth right now whenever we step away from this, so I can show you the link that doesn't go to my name. It goes to Amazon. Where's this other guy here? Armageddon, another one. Been a great supporter, but for some reason, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, thinks people could say whatever the fuck they want and call me out to be a liar. Pretty wild from Ford Boss. The only thing I can think of is he refused the reimbursement from them, which is an actual, which is an option. I trust him. Pretty wild from Ford Boss. I mean, why would anybody even get in this conversation? Not that I'm mad at Armageddon for getting in this conversation, but why not just say you guys are fucking idiots? Why would this guy ever lie to us? He's never lied to us one time since he started the channel. Okay, let's go one further and let's go to Amazon. Let's go to the email. Right here. Product review from this lady here, the Amazon rep. What does she say down here? Right here. 35%, bringing your total down to $50.69. Here's your coupon code. Has nothing to do with my link at all. Zero. When you go to my page, You see my image on the top. You see my storefront. It gives my about information. It has a background heading and stuff to it. Guys, I don't fucking get this. I really don't get how people that have been on my channel... It's not. So, Jack, stop. Please, everybody stop with the whole... These are people that have been loyal to the channel. They're not just trolls. Everybody needs to quit with their telling me what to do and what not to do. It's not up to you to do that. These are people that have been on the channel for a long freaking time. That have been here. These aren't people that you can just ignore. They're people that actually mean something to me, that have been here, that are now second guessing what I'm saying for some odd reason. I don't get it. If I tell you I'm not fucking making money off of it, I'm not making money off of it. Literally has nothing to do with me. And it's very disingenuous for people that have been here for a long time to come forward and say all the stupid shit that they've been saying lately. I mean, I do nothing but I get up early in the morning, I go to work, I spend all day at work busting my ass, putting out videos, fixing customer cars, and then I turn around, I go to my shop and I work till 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. Sometimes I'm not making it to bed until 11:30, midnight, and then getting up the next day and doing the same damn thing over and over again. I don't understand how people that have been here for that long are second guessing anything that I'm saying when I'm dumping and pouring my whole life out to you guys. It's all on the fucking table. It's literally all on the goddamn table, and people are sitting here like, oh, he must be telling a story. How? How do I have time to tell a story? I don't understand that. People are so fucking stupid sometimes, man. I'm sorry today has to be the way that it is, but it is. This morning, I don't care. I don't care if I get off of here and I've lost, 2,000 followers because of my brash honesty. But this type of shit is bullshit. It's complete and utter bullshit. This is from people that you trust, that have been here, that just all of a sudden out of nowhere. Don't let it get me down. It's not that it's getting me down. It's not at all. It's the fact that I try to build these relationships with people, and I try to show people the honest side of the business. I try to share with people, I couldn't have said, I don't have to say shit to you guys on that link. I could have said, screw them. They're nothing but subscribers. I don't have to share nothing with them. I ain't making money off of it. Why do I want to help somebody else out? I already got my circuit probe. Who the hell cares about them? But I didn't. I came back to you guys right away and said, look, they're hooking us up because you guys are on my channel and you're subscribed to this channel. Here you go. I don't get nothing out of it. Use it. Abuse it. It's yours. Extra money off for you. Let's go to the link right now and actually put it in and see what happens. I'll even purchase one right now as a giveaway to show you guys I ain't making a damn thing off of it. I don't even have, there's nothing on my storefront. There's no icon image here. There's no nothing. This is straight to Amazon. There's nothing there. When you go to my storefront, you see a picture of my image up here. You see it says Ford Boss Me storefront. Enter code right here. So you have after you get to the screen, let me make sure I don't have no personal information up here. I'm good. After you get to the screen right here, you scroll. It says enter code right here on the bottom. It says enter code when you get it. Well, they're telling me it should knock it down to $50.69. According to this, it knocks it down to 58.49. So I'll send out an email, but again, it went from over $100 to 77, and now it's down to 64. So it is down quite a bit. Now I wonder why it's not exactly showing up the way the lady said. It's like $8 more than what she said, or just shy of $8. I'm gonna go ahead and buy one anyway as a giveaway. Alright, I got it ordered. I'm gonna send her an email real quick letting her know that it don't quite show up exactly what she says. Hey, we went and used that coupon code on your Amazon link that you gave us, but it's showing up as $58 and some change, not $50 and some change. So I don't know if the code has expired or something has went on, but it's not quite showing up the way you said. I don't know why you guys think everybody's always out to play some kind of game, baiting me and saying this and saying that and trolling. No, sometimes people just have to know what you're doing is not okay. Sometimes you need to have a conversation with people and say, look, knock the shit off because it just ain't working. Why are you disrespecting me out of nowhere just because you can? You think because you've embedded yourself somewhat in the platform that you can just say and do whatever you want. It's not how it works. People have to understand just because you have freedom of speech doesn't mean that I don't have the freedom to turn your ass off if I don't want to hear you. There's a difference there. Just because you can say whatever you want doesn't mean I have to listen to it. People need to understand that. And I think that's a huge thing in life in general. People are like, oh, I have freedom of speech. I can say whatever you want. Yeah, you can, but I don't have to listen to your shit. They're not baiting me. They're not trying to get a reaction out of me, man. A lot of these people are seriously just pushing because they feel comfortable. And it's up to us when people start to feel comfortable with us to let them know, hey, what you're doing right now is not okay. If you enjoy me and you like the content that I put out and you like me helping you, then what you're doing right now is not okay. If you want the access to that, you're going to have to tone it down some, and we're going to have to fix what's going on. Because you just saying whatever the hell you want to me is not going to make me want to help you, and I'm eventually not going to have you on the channel. That's how it works. I'd be interested to hear from Hughes whenever this is all said and done. Because that surprises me coming from him. I never would have expected him to even remotely think that I was lying to him and then put that out publicly, and especially the other dude as well. And they've been here for as long as they have been. It just, stuff like that really, really, really bothers me. You know, you have people that have asked you for help, they've asked you for advice, and they do these things and they use you for these types of things, which I don't mind, but then they turn around and talk bad about you behind your back or say something bad about you, knowing that this is one of the reasons why sometimes I'm iffy about helping the public. Just for the simple fact that most people really don't care about you. Most people really don't care that you're actually putting in that extra time to help them, because once they're helped and they're on their way, it's screw you, hurrah for me, I've got what I need for free, and they move on about their business. Most people in life will use you rather than try to compliment you and build you up. That's most people. Now, the people on this channel I expect a little different from. I expect a different quality type of person on this channel. This channel is not for the Scotty Kilmer guys. This channel is not for the soft beta males. This channel is for not the little pussies in life that want a trophy for 10th place. This channel is for men that want to grow and they want to develop together and they want to build a community. That's what this channel is about. That's what this channel is always going to be about. When I'm sitting at 100,000 followers, if I haven't been kicked off YouTube by then, I'm still going to be saying the same shit that I am right now. I don't deal with beta males. I don't deal with users and abusers. And I don't deal with shit talkers on this channel. If you're a Scotty Kilmer worshiper, I don't deal with that shit either. Those guys can go too. They're all, I don't know where they, something wrong with those people. This channel is always going to be about what it is right now. Building a community of women and men that are in a mechanical mindset, that need help, that want to have good relationships with people, and just a network of mechanics that actually care. That's what it's going to be about. So if I tell you something, I'm not lying to you about it. I'm being straight with you. Who is the Scotty guy? Scotty Kilmer. He's a big YouTube automotive guy, an old man that was born in 1812, and he grew up on steam-powered engines and hand crank engines, and basically oil slap, oil splash, oiled engines, and he is putting out videos today talking about 2021 model vehicles. It absolutely has had no formal training, no certifications, never worked for a dealership, never actually worked for a real independent shop other than his grandpa's gas station garage that he specialized in Model Ts in. That's Scotty Kilmer. Yep. But he's been able to convince and con people over the last 15 years to the point where they actually believe everything that he's saying. And he's one of the first actual technicians, mechanics that came on the internet. So he naturally deserves the rights to be as big as he is because he got started way earlier than most people had. Stop talking about him, that's beta. Somebody asked a question. I'm going to answer the question. How about we stop telling Ford Boss how to answer questions? That'd be the best way to do things, right? Any advice for someone just getting into the automotive repair field? Yeah, the best advice I can give you is close this, open these, and learn from as many people as you possibly can, and soak in as much of that information as you possibly can. Unless you actually know what you're about to say is actually going to help somebody, close this, open these, and learn from freaking everybody. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask the question multiple times. And you'll get very, 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 very far. When I learned to shut this and open these, big things started happening. Thanks, Ant. I appreciate it. If you guys haven't checked out Anthony's channel, you need to check out Anthony's channel. He's also another technician. He's an AMSOIL distributor, and he has been here supporting this channel for quite some time now. So check out his channel, guys. Yeah, the old guys are, they may come across as, I'm gonna tell you right now, they're gonna come across as assholes. But those guys have deserved the right to be that way. Now, is it always the best thing to do, to be an asshole just because you can? No, it's not. But those guys have been doing it for so damn long, have been through so many different waves of BS from corporate level to customers to dealership, that they've earned the right to be that way. You have to look past that. But what they're telling you is going to make you a lot of money if you just shut up and listen. I like the new Bronco, but I can't really say I can't really say enough about it because it's brand new, and the one Bronco that we have on the lot, Ford says we can't sell for 4 months because it has to be a loaner. It has to be a vehicle that people go get in and drive around and stuff like that because um, they want it advertised before they actually sell it. The Dodge is, I mean, it's good. There's some things I have to do to the Dodge first. I want to go through all the brakes, front and back. I want to actually put like new calipers, new rotors, new brakes. I want to just rebuild the whole entire braking system on it. The brake lines are good. Um, I want to pull fluid and stuff out of it. It needs a new gearbox. I noticed the front seal on the actual gearbox is starting to leak, so we're gonna have to get a new gearbox in it too. Right now, it's drivable. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with driving it. But I've been trying to hit my interval, or I've been trying to hit my 3,000 miles with the town car because I just sent off the Mobil 1 Extended Performance Oil to Blackstone Labs. For some odd reason now, it's been weeks and weeks and weeks, and I still have no results back from them. I don't know what's going on with them. They have sent me nothing back, and maybe it takes longer. I don't know how long it takes with Blackstone Labs. But now I'm finishing up the Pennzoil Platinum Ultra, and I'm going to send off that oil sample. It should be next week that I've already hit it, because I'm at like 3,800 or 230,800 miles right now on the car. And I think next week it should be no problem for me to hit 231,500. I think that's what we set our 3,000 mile intervals at. It's ballpark. And so I'll have to send in that oil sample, and then I'm going to run AMSOIL in the town car and see how it does, and then we're going to compare all three of them as a finale. Mobil Extended, Pennzoil Platinum Ultra, and then AMSOIL. The what is it, the Signature or the Select, their top line, and then we'll compare all three. So I've been trying to get through that before I go back to the Dodge, because when I go back to the Dodge, I'm going to have to stay on it for a little bit. I've got an AMSOIL in the Dodge right now, but I haven't started it in a week and a half. Have you shed your Iraqi sewage spike yet today? What the hell are you talking about, sewage spike? I don't understand what you're talking about. I don't know if you're a troll and it's just shit wrangler is a kind of a key indication of what you're doing on the internet. Yeah, but Acid Brain says, are you still doing engine cleaning tests on the Dodge? I am, but I can't do that while I'm trying to do other tests on other stuff, like, the town car. It's my daily driver, so most of the tests that I'm going to do is naturally going to be on that first. So we have to space things out. It's going to be a period where I'm not doing stuff on the Dodge, and then I'm going to go back to doing stuff on the Dodge. So it's going to be a bounce back and forth. People are just going to have to sit tight through it. Going up, Papa. Papa says sup with a bunny in front of it. Uncle Tony's Garage. Yeah, everybody likes Uncle Tony's Garage. The tuning process, there's no tuning process. It's just me hooking the SCTX4 up to it and putting the 93 octane tune in it. I have to go to I've decided for my dog, she's wanting to chase after the birds and the ground squirrels. Sometimes she catches them. She almost caught that rabbit over there. Anyhow, what I want to do now is I want to either get long tube headers or the S-Trim supercharger set up for the town car as like my 30,000 subscriber celebration. I thought about doing maybe the long tube headers and saving the S-Trim supercharger setup for maybe 50,000 subscribers. Make it like a big one. What's my thoughts on the E85? My STI loves it. I think it's trash. I think E85 is a trash fuel. It's a dirty fuel. The only reason it's as successful and as cool as it is because you can run more of it. It's not as volatile, so it does not make as much power as regular octane fuel, like 87 and above, especially when you get 90, 91, 92, 93. Um, it doesn't make as much power as that. When you take a volume of an octane-based fuel versus a volume of E85, and they're identical, the octane fuel actually makes more BTUs, so there's the more potential for power there. The 85 is better in boosted vehicles because you can run so much more of it, and you can actually use it to help keep the engine a little bit cooler in some instances. But at the same time, it's a very dirty fuel. It's not a clean fuel. No, just I don't. They just didn't let those dogs behind me out yet. Maybe somebody put some antifreeze on the other side of the fence. I don't know. Not saying that I would do anything like that, but man, those dogs annoy the hell out of me. Can bad motor mounts cause transmissions to jerk when shifts? Oh, sure, sure it can. Anytime that trans is going to shift and it doesn't have a stable platform to actually keep everything mounted, the first time it goes to shift, if it's a harsh shift, now it's not going to be, it's not going to bang the engine into the hood or something like that, you know, or into the firewall or front of the radiator support. So if you're going forward, the engine's going to rotate towards the radiator, so it would be the rear and possibly the passenger side motor mount could be. So you could get a little, yeah, you could get a little sensation if it's shifting hard and the motor mount's going bad. I mean, I could see that being possible for sure. Thanks, D. I appreciate that. You know what? I kind of that's what I want to do here. I want to put my foot down on this channel. I don't want people to get so comfortable with me that they think that they can just start disrespecting me just because they've been here for a year or they've been here for a year and a half. I worked too damn hard for that, man. I've worked too hard to bring content to this to you guys. I've worked too hard for corporate to be calling up my dealership and telling me things have to be changed or you can't say this or you can't say that, but yet I still do it anyway and push the limits. I work too hard for me to walk up into the front of my dealership and tell my general manager, look, if you're going to fire me because I'm not shutting down my YouTube channel. I work too hard, for me to walk up to my service manager and say, look, I'm not shutting this down. This is what I'm doing. This is what I love to do. I love to help people. If you're going to let me go, let me go. I mean, you guys have to see what I go through and what I'm putting on the line here, and then have maybe a little bit more respect for me than the average person because I'm putting my neck on the line here. I would hope that you would anyway because of what I'm actually, how open I am, not only with Ford, not only with the manufacturer, not only with my dealership and all those around me, my moderators and stuff here, the people that are on this channel that are actually my real life friends that know me, know that everything that I'm telling you is, none of it's bullshit. It's all 100% facts. I'm probably the realest motherfucker with flaws that you're ever going to meet because I do have flaws, don't get me wrong. But I don't hide it. There's nothing about me that I hide. And that's kind of one of the things that I need people to realize is that I'm not going to eat your crow. It's not going to happen. She's about to go check something out. There's an animal next to the house. I'm not stopping her. I'm not getting involved in that because every time I go next to the house and those bees come out, I'm afraid that I'm gonna end up in the hospital again. If she goes, I ain't stopping her. She's over. Look at this. She's posted up ready. Good morning. What's up? Best engine, or probably one of the best engine Ford has made. 6.2 liter is an outstanding motor. It's a great solid platform. I absolutely love it. Anything that happens with that motor, nothing really catastrophic. You know, a valve spring breaks, a couple hours later you got it changed out, and motor's back running again for another 80,000 miles, 100,000 miles. Love that motor. I like the Ford 6.7. I think it's the best diesel power making motor out of the group. But right now, with the way they're being manufactured or remanned or whatever short blocks are being built and put together, I don't have very much to say about it at this moment. Oh my God, Frank. Third shift and then get up and what do? You go home and go to sleep right away? I mean, that's a long third shift is kind of odd. I was reading about third shift and I was reading some scientific studies and like it was like some weird stuff about a write up about how society deals with certain things, and they were talking about how third shift people can be hit or miss. Sometimes they can be really happy, sometimes they can be really sad and mad, and sometimes there's no in between because the shift itself it's on a different time clock. The body is in a different mindset of its own third shift, and when that's your schedule, there's a lot of things during the day that are normally turned on to people that are turned off to you, and at night that are turned on to you that are turned off to them because of how your anatomy and everything has had to switch and change to get used to that schedule. It was something to the extent of they're not getting sunlight, they're not getting exposed to that interaction with the public and stuff like the people during first and second shift are, and they typically deal and act a little bit different based on the schedule of their life. I don't know if you ever find that. It'd be interesting to hear from you about how you deal with third shift. Yeah. Yeah, I had mentioned something about a year and a half ago. Somebody was in the comment section. They were trying to talk. They said something about just another white guy on here talking shit, and something about I don't deserve to be in the position that I'm in because of my color or something like that. And I said something to the extent of, sounds to me like you're just some kind of race baiting. What did I say? Race baiting, stressed or ignorant fool or stressed out fool over life in general, and you need to work more on your own self than reflecting on other. But based on what I said, that dude had called up and left a message with my dealership, and I was like, are you freaking kidding me? We can't even keep our personal lives out of our work lives. Whenever you say something ignorant to me and I feed that back to you, you can't accept that as a man and say, well, I kind of did ask for that. I was the idiot that put my own foot in my mouth, and this guy's got a whole audience of people here, and if he says something to me, it's kind of 10 times more of a burn to me than me to him. But he didn't think about any of that. Yeah. Yep. Emailed my manager. That quickly got swept under the rug because my manager was like, well, what does his personal life have to do with work? He's not doing nothing at work. Yeah, so yeah, people have then more recently there was a guy that called up and emailed the dealership and said that I had been talking about a legal issue with a Ford F-150, and he didn't think that was appropriate for me to be talking about that online. And then he said, oh yeah, by the way, do you know your technician works on his personal vehicle at your dealership? That was part of the email. He said, "Do you know your technician works on his own vehicle at your dealership?" He was tattling on me. He was telling my general manager that I work on my car at the dealership. They know that. We have service records that we can go into the office and say, "Hey, print me off a repair order for my car. Just put inspection on there," and it covers us under the insurance policy. It takes like literally 30 seconds to do it. Hey, look up my Lincoln, print me out a repair order. Just say inspection on it. Go put it on the lift, do whatever I want, no problem. This guy was tattling on me that I was talking about an F-150 that wasn't a legal matter, but it was a educational video for me to explain to people what modifying your vehicle under warranty can do to you. After 2 engines and the second engine had failed, and this vehicle was lowered with Lincoln rims and stuff on it and everything else, Ford said, no, we're not covering this. This vehicle's been being modified, we're done. That was the extent of the video, and the video angle was shot from the side like this. You couldn't see plates. You couldn't see anything about the vehicle at all. There was no information given about the vehicle, only an educational segment of what was going on. And somebody literally called my dealership up and said, I'm talking about a legal matter and that I'm working on my personal car in the shop. Here's what I did. I seen the guy's name on the email. I don't think my GM understood that all that stuff is there, and there was a number there, and I got a pretty good photographic memory. So I remember the guy's name, and I see the number. As soon as my GM walks away, I write it all down on a piece of paper. Okay. Let's see if this guy's man enough to actually talk. Let's see if this guy's man enough to actually have a conversation with me about why he's wanting to take somebody else's job away from them, even though I'm not really freaking worried about it. There's a job anywhere you turn as a technician, especially a qualified, certified technician. They don't have enough of them out there. I could walk out today and walk right down the street and walk right into another dealership. So I call the guy up. He won't answer his phone. And I leave a message saying, hey, I did it. I recorded the whole thing. Hey, bud, you know, you got a hold of my dealership and you made some claims about me that were false. They weren't true at all. You said that I was talking about a legal matter. There's nothing in my video about a legal matter. You had made these claims about me working on my personal vehicle and stuff at work, but that's covered at work because we have repair orders that we're allowed to open on our own vehicles to cover us under the insurance policy. I'm just calling because I'm kind of concerned that you're trying to get somebody fired from their job based on false claims, and I am ready to hire a lawyer at this moment. So if you want to take this any further, please continue calling and leaving false claims with my dealership, and I will sue the hell out of your ass. I don't have a problem with that. Or maybe you can call and talk to me like a man, and we can figure out why you're so bitter about watching my channel and then calling my dealership and making false claims about me. Never called back. Hi, baby. Hi, baby girl. Come here. Come here. Get up here. Come here. Good baby girl. Where's the baby? Where's the baby? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing, Mama? You know, I'm at that point now where I make money, guys. I make money. Plenty of people are dropping stuff off with me in my own, you know, not moonlighting, not taking business away from there's nothing I can't work on. I work on semis, I work on farm equipment, I work on vehicles that are on the road. I have a plethora of tools and diagnostic ability and stuff like that. So there's no matter where I go, I'm always able to make money. I'm never going to go without. That's the good thing about giving somebody a skill, is once they acquire a skill, they can just continue to further hone that and get better and better and better and better. So people threaten me in my life that they're going to do this and they're going to do that, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'd like to actually see somebody do something that's actually going to to affect my life. It doesn't. And I think once you get to that point in your life, then people are like, oh, I guess I really can't do anything to this guy, so I'm going to move on to the next person. Thank you. She was supposed to be some kind of husky, and then she ended up not being some kind of. Man, she is pacing this yard this morning. She wants one of these squirrels. All right, I'll get it in there, Bob. Thank you. What's the best way to find an exhaust leak on a 4.9 liter inline six exhaust? I would say have somebody go to the tailpipe while it's running and plug the exhaust. And if they put their hand on the exhaust will actually start blowing out where it's leaking pretty good. Don't obviously do it for a super long. It's not that it matters because you're not really going to block all that out of there. You could cause the vehicle to stall out and die while it's running, but I've never even seen that. I've done that so many times where I go to the back of a vehicle while it's running and plug the exhaust, and I hold my hand there, and all of a sudden I have somebody sit in the front or vice versa, and I can hear it clear as day. It just pumps it right back out where it's leaking, and then you can find it immediately. Transmission is still shuddering in 6th gear. Did you put any kind of additive in it yet? Did you actually get like Valvoline makes a trans additive for shuddering to see if that helps anything? I can only give you the generic answer that I know of outside of rebuilding the transmission because I'm not a transmission guy. We will bring the vehicle in, we'll clear the adaptive tables, and then we'll relearn. Basically driving, shifting all gears under 2,000 RPM, just nice and steady, and then progressively getting more and more and more into it, and then relearning. But that doesn't fix the problem all the time. Sometimes it's just as simple as flushing everything out of it and starting with fresh fluid, but actually adding some kind of like Valvoline seal conditioner, transmission conditioner additive. It helps a lot. We had a Honda come in. It's real common with Honda motors to shift hard certain gears and stuff, especially like the older CRVs and stuff. What is that, like CVT transmission, or I don't know, CVT transmission or something like that? Maybe not called CV. I don't know what the older ones are called. But they come in shifting hard, we'll drop the oil out of it, put an additive or something in it, and then go out and actually drive it, and then it shifts fine for another 30,000-40,000 miles before it starts acting up again. Yeah, I don't know anything about a FLIR camera. I don't use that. I'm thinking that you're talking about one of those thermal imaging ones that you can actually see discoloration. You can use it for so many different things. I've used it. I don't have one, but I've used the transmission guy's thermal imaging gun. I'll put the back defrost on, and I'll actually try to verify if it's working. If I can't verify it's working right away, I'll take that thermal imaging gun and run it across the back defrost grid, and you can see all the breaks in the grid. What do I think about transmission flushers? I think transmission flushers are a good thing, but they have to be done sooner. You can't wait till you get 80,000 miles, 100,000 miles on a vehicle and expect to do a flush on something that's been run that long, and it just functioned fine. If you kept it up every 30,000-40,000 miles, some people go as long as 50,000 miles for general service, and you did it, at that interval, your transmission would last 10 times longer. Dirty fluid is an enemy, and anybody that says different is they're on their own planet. I was just talking to the transmission guy the other day, and I said, I know some fluids inherently get dirty, and he said, well, if people took the time to actually flush the transmission out, like actually put a cleaner in there and run it through there and flush it out, and then maybe do it a second time, you wouldn't have dirty fluid. A lot of people just use that as an scapegoat to say, oh yeah, all transmissions are going to have dirty fluid. And that's not necessarily the case. Even look at the DPS6 transmission, the dual clutch system. The BG guy was in there the other day, and he said, we don't. Everybody says the DPS6 trans, the power shift or whatever they call it, power shift or torque shift, power shift trans, and those focuses are notorious for having dirty fluid, and you're right. But he said, I don't have any problem with that at all. I take a can of BG transmission cleaner and I dump it right in the trans through the vent tube. He said, I run it before I flush it. I drop my fluid and stuff out. I put new fluid in, and I barely see anything dirty throughout the lifespan of actually checking that and stuff. He said, I just use a decent cleaner in it every once in a while, and I don't have the problems that everybody has with super dirty fluid. I don't have the experience with the GM stuff. I don't think it would be that hard to do that, but I also don't have an AC machine. The shop has just started up. So, I mean, if you went to somebody and got it evacuated and then came to me, I could get the work done, but I don't have an AC machine to evacuate everything. So, right now would probably not be a good idea for me to take jobs because of not being able to take specific jobs like that where you actually need certain equipment, because I don't want to do anything illegally and then end up having my shop shut down and it just got started. Is the Ford 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine reliable? Oh yeah, most definitely. Best 4-cylinder engine in my opinion that they have. Best, I can't say best. The 2.0 liter NA and the 2.5 liter NA, they're runners. They're strong runners, and they will run really, really, really good. So that 2.5 liter to me is my favorite 4-cylinder NA motor. What's up with the F-150 very gay Raptor? What was Ford thinking? I don't know about that, Taxman. I think I'd watch saying that on this channel. There's a lot of Raptor guys here. They don't look very gay. They're pretty stout vehicles, and they're really good off-road vehicles. So, I mean, that may be your opinion, but I'd probably watch saying that on this channel, because you might get drugged saying stuff like that. People on this channel really love the Raptor. Especially the 2014 Raptor with a 6.2 liter. That ain't nothing to shake a stick at, so it's not necessarily a gay truck. It's a pretty badass truck. No, I haven't worked on a Ford GT. We don't see Ford GTs come in our shop. Yeah, the 2.0 NA 15 Focus with a 5-speed, those are amazing vehicles. They're just runners, man. They just run and run and run. Don't forget the old 2.3 liter single overhead cam and 2.5 that were tough as nails. Just didn't have any power. Yeah, you're right. They don't have a lot of power, but man, they run. You rarely see anything outside of a leak every once in a while in those. 06 5.4, is that reliable? I have to tell you, if it's a 2-valve, you're good. If it's a 3-valve, I'd rather not say. Any comments on the feds cracking down on tuners, ECU tuners? You know what? Nope. Nope. Um, no comment because I don't do that on this channel. I don't know very much about what's going on other than the fact that they're trying to get into the aftermarket world and stop a lot of people from modifying their vehicles, which I don't think is right. I've signed the RPM Act because I don't like the fact that what they're doing um, is going on. But at the same time, everything that people put out on social media is what's incriminating them. If people would have never started putting that type of stuff on social media for views and things like that, this wouldn't be going on. Well, some of it wouldn't be going on. How much to rebuild an 8.8? Are we talking like spider gears, shims, pinion bearing, seals? You'll have to email me on that. I don't want to talk prices on live. Yeah, it's more the delete kits that the feds are worried about, not so much the tuners, but they're still cracking down on everything. It all depends, Cody, what 3-valve you have. If you have one of the problematic 3-valves, it could be any time that sucker pushes a plug straight through the damn hood. .3 Godzilla is a pretty badass motor. That's the runner right now. That's what most of the fleet people are going to. They're not even buying the diesels anymore. They're just buying the 7.3s. Because it does everything that the diesels do and more, and if it needed more, they wouldn't be in the right truck anyway. They'd have to go up to something like an F550 where you'd need a 6.7. So most of the people that are in the diesel fleet business now are either considering going 7.3 line or have already started going 7.3 line. My uncle is a 33-year retired Navy veteran, alpha badass, and he just became a woman a couple years. What? Wow. The RPM Act, it's about how they're trying to crack down on people modifying and I'll read it to you real quick so I'm not botching it. Recognizing the Protection of Motorsports Act of 2021. Protect your right to race. The EPA is banning race cars. Tell Congress to pass the RPM Act and stop the EPA from destroying motorsports. Your member of Congress needs to hear from you. Street vehicles, cars, trucks, and motorcycles can't be converted into race cars according to the EPA. The EPA has announced that the enforcement against high-performance parts, including superchargers, tuners, and exhaust system, is a top priority. Even if you are one of the hundreds of thousands of enthusiasts who contacted Congress in the past, we need your support again. Tell the bureaucrats in Washington that race cars are off limits. So they're trying to get rid of you having fun completely, basically, what it comes down to. Well, I'll sign it again. Do it right now. Put my address in. Remember me. Send message. Done. Signed. Thank you for your support. You have communicated with the following representatives. Sean Caston, email. Yeah, Jonathan, they would do that. Yeah, I don't get into rebuilding any of the older stuff right now anyway. I'd have to have a much larger shop with more bays so whenever I down something I can leave it down. I'll I'll contact you off of here. Send when this video is done and it uploads, ask me for my email again, I'll send it to you. Any transmission fluid I like to change by like 30-40,000 miles if I can get it in. A lot of people say that's excessive, push it out to 50, but fluid is the blood of the vehicle. And there's nothing excessive about that. I try to change my fluid every 30 to 40,000 miles. Mainly by 30,000 is what I try to do. You know, there were years ago where when I was in body school, we were having to learn about the EPA and stuff like that. And the instructor brought us into class one day from the shop, and he said the problem that we're seeing right now is that California they're trying to implement a lot of laws that they want to affect the rest of the states, and they're getting a lot of their laws from overseas and in like Europe and Germany and stuff like that, where it's coming from over there. So first it started with the water-based paints because the paint that we were using before was too volatile, and they didn't it was too volatile, and they were worried about the vapors and stuff and the fuel, what they call it, HAPs, hazardous air pollutants is what it's called, HAPs. They were worried about all that stuff affecting the atmosphere, so they went to water-based paint. And then it caused the industry to change to where they had to get water-based sprayers and dryers and new guns and all this other stuff. And the guys had to adjust a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. They adjusted fairly quick because painters are painters, you know. They figure it out. And we were talking about the old classic cars, and he said, I have a buddy in California right now where he's got 2 notices already, and he's got an old Mustang sitting in his carport, and it doesn't move. So now not only are they talking about cracking down on the old vehicles that don't have the updated fuel systems for newer fuel, because a lot of them need like the lead substitute additive and stuff in there because of the valve seats and things of this nature. He was saying that they are actually wanting to show up on people's property and literally take their stuff. She's come over here with a toy. What do you want, baby? Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that toy. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Drop it. Drop it. Hey, drop it. You're cheating. You started too early. You want this? You want this? Come here. You want this? Come here. You silly. Come here. What did you do? Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Let me have it. Let me have it. Drop it. Hey. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Okay. Good girl. I like it. I like the 4R70W, and even when the 4R70W goes back, it's cheap to rebuild, and not only that, it's cheap to replace. I love my 4R70W. I've never had any problems with it, and I flushed the trans. I flushed it when I first got it. It was already pretty clean. Dog hair. It was already pretty clean, and then I flushed it again at 25,000 miles, and the vehicle runs great. It just absolutely runs great. It's the original trans that was in that car. It shows to be like no wear, no nothing at all. But the old man that had it before me with his service records, drop it. Drop it. He did the same thing. Always flush the trans early. But he was saying that they've already put several notices on his property to where they were warning him that they're just going to show up and take his vehicle. And he was saying they're asking for everything to be updated. They're asking for catalytic converters to be put on cars back then that didn't have it. They're asking for the old vehicles that still have the original motor to be outfitted with like different valve seats and stuff like that, so it could handle the newer type fuel. They want them to make it to where like it doesn't need new fuel lines and stuff like that, because certain issues with fuel lines from back in the day aren't compatible with the fuel and stuff that they have today. And then my uncle was telling me the same thing, that more and more down in Alabama, the police were starting to come by his property. And he was like, I have 10 vehicles on my property. All of them run, but sometimes I'll have to take the batteries out and move batteries around to start a vehicle and move it when I'm mowing the grass or something. And he said, lately the sheriff's been coming by more and more and more, and they're telling me that they can't see the vehicles just stagnant in one spot. It's my fucking property. What do you mean to tell me that I can't have my vehicle parked in the same spot for more than 30 days on my property? You don't own it. I own it. I paid for it. Like, why are you coming out here and telling me that I have to move my vehicles around on something that I own? So you know what he does when the sheriff shows up? He takes one battery from his van, and he says, "Okay, Sheriff, I'm moving them right now." And he's done this a couple times already, and the sheriff will sit there and he'll watch. He'll park his vehicle in his yard, and he'll watch with the binoculars on the back side of his property, and he goes and grabs the battery, the good battery from the van, and he'll move it to the Mustang, and then he'll move it a foot, and then he'll move it to the next car, and he'll move it a foot, and then he'll move it to the next car, and he'll move it a foot, and he'll go in a row, and he'll move all 10 vehicles up on a line, and he'll switch that battery from vehicle to vehicle to vehicle to vehicle to vehicle and waste the sheriff's time. And then he'll start all the way back over at the beginning the next month and move them all back 10 feet or so, and he'll just keep moving them back and forth, back and forth. And he says, you want to come out here and mess with me and try to make me do this stuff, well then I'm going to waste all your time, because it's ridiculous that you're even coming out here, because I don't even live in the main city limits. He lives out in the country. And he didn't do that with just him. He does that with multiple people out there. Much more news on the NV oil and engine. No, just the fact that we went out there and put a bunch of MMO in it and topped it off with some Lucas and regular 10W30. Got it started and pulled it in the shop. The BG guy came yesterday, so I was able to get one of the big restoration boxes, so that's going to go in the motor next. And then we're going to flush all that stuff out of there. Now stop for a second here. Hello, just started watching some of your videos. Just bought a 2017 Ford Escape. I have a question. I'm low on engine coolant. The manual said that I should use orange and the coolant inside is pink. The coolant inside is orange. It just looks pink. It's still orange. You are not. There's actually an updated coolant now that you don't use the orange anymore. It's called VC. What is it? VCG 13 or VC 13G. It's actually a yellowish green coolant, but it's yellow, and it takes place. It's mixable with the orange, the pink orange stuff, and that's what you use now. You don't actually even use the stuff that your manual says, because they came out with an updated fluid that says this is the new universal fluid between yellow. Well, it's not called yellow, so they do have an old yellow coolant that is not compatible with the newer coolants. This is a yellowish green looking coolant that just came out, but you need to make sure that you get VC13G. I'll show you. VC13G coolant. Right here. See down here in the corner it says VC13G. That's the new compatible Motorcraft coolant. It's yellow, and it goes with the orange pink looking color. But here, if you have low coolant, let's talk about how low is. So if you have a window here, here's your full, here's your low, and your coolant somewhere, it was here but it's dropped a little bit right here, you're okay. If it's dropped down here like this, underneath everything, now they're starting to become a concern. There's two things people often forget. They say, well, my coolant's good for 100,000 miles, 150,000 miles. No, it's not. The additive package wears off and it will actually start to boil off. And people, oh, I'm losing coolant. That's not normal. It is absolutely normal. If you have old coolant and the additive package can't sustain keeping everything in there and not, it's on. Well, just listen to me for a second. So when coolant gets old, it can actually drop quite a bit faster than when it's more fresh. The problem with your vehicle, the 2017 Escape, is if you have a 1.5 liter, a 1.6 liter, or a 2.0 liter EcoBoost, you could have coolant intrusion. There's a technical service bulletin out that says you start to lose coolant, you'll sometimes get a misfire code, and under powertrain warranty, it's covered up to 60,000 miles or 5 years. If these things start happening where you're losing coolant, you're actually going to have to get the engine block replaced. The engine's got to come apart, you got to replace the block, you got to put everything back together, new gaskets, new coolant, new everything with the new updated block design. And basically what it was in between the pistons in the block, there's a grooved sleeve that goes down it. It's a cut in between. It's a coolant relief passage. And as the cylinder walks, it'll start to actually bleed off through there. And a lot of people are like, well, why can't I just put a new head gasket on it and call it a day? It doesn't work that way. It's going to start leaking again. You have to have the new updated block design. So what they do is they actually... It's actually a solid piece with just a hole, and now instead of a big slit in between the cylinder walls. It's a defective flaw in engineering, the way they engineered it. So when that particular vehicle starts to lose coolant, if you have one of the EcoBoost engines, you have to get that engine pressurized. So the best thing to do is, if you wanted to do it yourself, you could do it yourself too, just to verify. you get one of these kits. Coolant system pressure tester. You get a kit that looks like this. It's got different fittings. You got to make sure you get one of these to go onto the Ford coolant reservoir. Sometimes they don't come. You have to order it from like Mac or something like that, or Snap-on. And you pull the cap off the reservoir. You screw one of those caps on. Put the adapter. Put the actual pressure tester on. It's like a penis pump. You pump that thing up as much as you possibly can, and you put a lot of pressure on the top of it. You match the pressure that's on the cap of the reservoir, 21 psi, and you pump that gauge up until it says 21 psi, and you leave it alone. But you have to do it when the engine is hot. And then you go ahead and pull spark plugs out, cylinders 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you'll actually take like a $50 bore scope. You can buy them on Amazon for like 50 bucks, or you can even go cheap. You can go get like a bore scope US or a plug-in for your phone, and you can actually download the app on your phone, and you can actually look down inside that cylinder and see A-Ross. You can actually look down inside the cylinder, and you can watch it drip down the cylinder walls. You can see the coolant pushing past the, but sometimes it won't show right away. Sometimes it'll be a couple hours before you actually see fluid accumulating down in there. And if you really want to know what it looks like, go back to my previous videos where I actually do this test most recently. You can actually see the drips of coolant end up right in the cylinder. Just drip, drip. You can just see it over and over and over and over and over again. So that's that. Guys, it is, we've been on here for some time, and I actually want to spend some time with the family today. I don't want to spend 3 hours every time I get on here, but I do want to get on here on the weekends and at least talk to you guys. I don't want to piss anybody off, because it's been brought to my attention that I've been doing this a little too much lately. So we need to focus on the family some more. So alright guys, I appreciate y'all. If y'all have any questions, drop in the comment section. Anybody needed my email that wanted to send me an email, ask for my email in the comment section as well. I'll get that to you. And appreciate y'all. Thank you. Later.